Hey yo, what's poppin' with this one? VampHourzz, act accordingly. So yeah, VladTV, right? Got one of the biggest successful interview platforms to exist. I think a lot of these other platforms probably, maybe might have gotten some of the inspiration, picked up a few things from Vlad if you pay attention to certain ones, right? Despite the fact people say he's a culture vulture, and it probably could be argued. But nonetheless, he's had his fallouts with certain black people, and a lot of black people rock with him. It don't seem like he's slowing up or anything. But yeah, not to say he's like the sole reason for these types of podcasts. He was one of the first podcasts / interview platforms that I started watching because he was so in depth with his interviews. Like when you watch, you're not watching Vlad. You can hear him ask the questions. That's about it. You're looking at the person who's being asked, the person who's responding, the person who's explaining. And everybody and their mama on Vlad, if you don't, it's something on there for everybody. That's why his platform is so big, because it has so many different actors, rappers, entertainers, athletes. His name is synonymous with the word interview. And everybody, well, most people know he was around the hip-hop scene longer than that as an actual DJ. At that time, I don't ever remember seeing Vlad. Matter of fact, I ain't never seen Vlad until he started doing VladTV. And even then, it took a little bit of time. I ain't gonna hold you, right? He made the transition from DJ to interviewer, I guess. I've been watching Vlad for a few years now. He really got some classic interviews and moments on there. I ain't gonna lie. And I'm not ashamed to tell you, when I first started watching him, because he never showed his face. He never put the camera on himself. Very rare does he do that, unless you go and look the fool up. I used to think Vlad was actually a nigga. No cap. I tell you, the voice always passed for a brother, to me anyway. And I heard other people who had said the same thing, fam. When I finally seen him, I couldn't believe it, fam. I just said, I cannot believe my eyes, who I thought all this time was a black man. Because at first I was watching him interview the porn stars. That's how I found his channel. And now I wasn't typing in porn star interviewer. You understand? It's just something that popped up. I seen some of the ones I used to watch. I'm like, who this? But anyway, when I found out that he was a white Jewish man, I said, fam, what? But despite all that, I stayed tuned into him, found out he was interviewing more than porn stars. So I stayed watching. I liked what he had going on. Despite certain rumors, you got the culture vulture one, which probably could be argued. It could be debated. I mean, shit. Then you got the whole people swore that Vlad was the police or actually an informant for the damn FBI, fam. Just based on the questions he would ask certain rappers pertaining to their background, crimes they committed, gang ties, things like that. Which is like, I see the way I look at it, they come on there, he gonna ask you. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they basically come on there and incriminate themselves at times, which nobody told them to do. But I get where people are coming from with that. It is an interview platform. If we didn't know it then, we damn sure know now that if nobody else don't ask you, old Vlad gonna ask you. We gonna get knee deep in something. But for a long time, folk really did think he was with the law, man. Probably still to this day, And I'm not gonna lie, I question this myself. Not even question, but I do think about it. I think about it. I don't got no beef with Vlad, but I definitely think about this. The same thing that other people, the reason why a lot of people don't like him, because it's like, how you got this Russian Jewish dude who had such of a successful operation built off the back of hip hop culture. Yeah, he's always been around the culture, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like black culture. It's like, it's a plethora of people who feel that he's a true blue culture vulture. And sometimes I hate that word because it gets tossed around a lot, but it could be argued, fam, if you really want to, But Which the thing is, if that's the case, he would be one of the most successful culture vultures to do it. People debate the same thing about Drake, but that's for another day. I'm gonna let Kendrick have that one. But I'm not even bigging Vlad up. I'm just saying it for what it is. But forget all that. Vlad has stayed going viral for putting his foot in his mouth at times. Not just the interviews and the celebs, not just for that reason, but some of the shit that comes out his own mouth, fam. Which can't really be a surprise because, again, we got a white Russian Jewish dude hosting these interviews with, for the most part, definitely majority-wise, are with black entertainers. Actors, rappers, personalities, athletes, you name it, they probably been on Vlad. If you're known for something and your skin is brown/black, oh, you was on Vlad, or you about to come up there, right? So obviously, because of his background and ethnicity, his perspective sometimes can be different, like come off type harsh at times, and it can clash with what the rest of the black community, the black audience feels like a lot of the times, right? Folks be feeling like, I don't know if I agree with what he's saying. The way he be saying certain things. It's like sometimes he forgets that his audience is even based on a major percentage of niggas. Let's call for what it is. And rock with me, because I'm still trying to cut the word out. So rock with me. All right. So it'd be like he can't see things from our point of view at times, you know? If you're not black or brown yourself, obviously, then how can you identify or relate? Especially when some rather sensitive topics get touched on. You know, from time to time, it be like that. Then he gets called out, spazzed on for what sometimes people feel, comes off as ignorance. He sticks to his guns. You know, there might have been times where Vlad had to be like, I didn't mean it that way. You know what I'm saying? I remember that time Lord Jamar and Godfrey, the comedian, old boy from Soul Plane, they were regular guests on the show at one point. They stopped having dealings with him over an apology they felt he should have had given for something that was said in relation to the minister, Louis Farrakhan. Now, I just say all of that to paint the pic that he has a knack for having a strong difference in opinion, despite the fact he's usually strongly disagreed with. But okay, this interview specifically is a little further back. I came across it and I watched it because I see it was another one of Vlad's highlight moments, right? One of the times where people strongly disagreed with him and they felt like it had more to do with his ethnicity. It had nothing to do with, just a general disagreement. It felt like it was a little bit deeper than that, right? So we're going to get into it because I feel like it opens the door to other questions that anybody could relate to. Everybody got a different perspective. So Michael Vick, the football player, played for Falcons, Eagles, Jets, Steelers. He came on there and he's talking about his life story. They chopping it up as Vlad and his guests always do. So Vick gets to talking about when he first started getting money in the NFL. And he said he signed a $62 million damn deal as a rookie and an $11 million signing bonus. Lord have mercy. Vlad asked him, how did that feel to come up like that from projects to a rookie player with a mean bag like that? Vick said he was more so happy for not just him, but his family. He was happy he could change their life. His moms, his dad, his sisters, his brother. How much of an amazing accomplishment this was, not just for him, but for everyone he credits. Everyone, not just himself, especially seeing how being an NFL player wasn't even mapped out for his future. At that time, he wasn't even thinking about no NFL. So that's actually dope that he found out he had that talent, something that he wasn't even really trying to do, like most black people be trying to do. He tried to get to the NFL, if you're athletic. He said he wasn't even thinking about it. But you see where he ended up. So everything worked out good, man. He continues and says what most black men from the hood who make it big are gonna tell you. What's the first thing all black entertainers, black men entertainers tell you they do when they first make money? Buy mama a house. You got it. took care of his aunts after that, situated his cousins, ended up getting cars, basically hooked them all up, set them up pretty damn good. If I say so myself, Vick said he wanted to ensure that his folk didn't have to fret being financially stressed, and that he wanted to give, in his words, a subtle opportunity to move forward and live and instead be financially free, right? So Vlad responds with, well, oh yeah, you moved 6 of your friends from back home to Atlanta. And Vick answers with, I didn't move them. We all left together. Vlad says, okay, but you were supporting them financially. And Vick says, we were supporting one another. I had millions of dollars. I never felt like I was supporting anybody. You know, he basically was saying, I just felt, being a genuine person that I am, I had enough of it to spread around. We all struggled together after all. We all laughed together after all. We all cried together and lost people together. So basically, they had all been through the mud. Sounds understandable, right? Yeah, Vlad had made a remark saying something about, you know, like, basically, what is it with these athletes who always have these big crowds and they're always looking out for everybody? Vick was like, well, I mean, you got a crew, you got a crowd around you. Vlad said, I don't financially support them, though. And Vick was kind of like, huh, wait a minute now. And that's when a little bit of somewhat of a debate. Not too much, but somewhat. See, Vlad's perspective was, if you, the person who came up or became successful, then that's your success, your money, your reward for the work you put in, right? And Vick's was completely different. He even made an example. He's like, so if you and all your peoples who were broke, y'all came up together, right? You being the one to find, let's say, 20 million in a room. Of course, you're the one that found it. But after you find the money, you go back outside to your friends, your peoples, and all that. He asks Vlad, he's like, you ain't gonna give him nothing. Like, one of your friends got, you know, a kid and he's trying to get an apartment for him and his child. You wouldn't help that man when you clearly have a pocket full of money? Vlad then says, that's a tough decision. Basically, like, it's a hard decision to figure out. And Vick is kind of like, that's not a tough decision. Like, what you mean? Vlad explains it like, look, I dealt with friends in the whole doing favors for them. You know, they're your friend until the one time you tell them no. So Vlad is coming from a place of, it's not good to mix money with friends, family, associates, and things like that. Right? And they both agreed. Yeah, it can be like that. But Vick said for him in his situation personally, he knows his folks and friends gonna have his back, and that it's a respect level. He said he doesn't value a dollar as much as he values loyalty, respect, character. So who do y'all personally agree with? Like, who do y'all lean more towards? You know, yeah, you can understand what Vlad is saying, and I can most definitely understand where Vick is coming from. See, the internet went crazy on Vlad. Like, oh, he just a greedy Jewish fool. He don't believe in giving nobody nothing anyway, right? That's what the narrative was. Now, everybody has dealt with this type of thing, I'm sure, because, you know, money can ruin just about anything. They say that money is the root of all evil, right? It can ruin friendships, relationships, come between family, right? But sometimes, you know, you ask, like, is it the money or is it the people? Is it the person? Everybody look at it differently because everybody has had different experiences involving people and favors. Vlad, he does have a point. People do take advantage. There's always going to be people like that. Some folk are out to drain you any way they can. That's what it is. And that's something we can't change. So my thing would be, I guess, do we base every interaction where we're in a position to help others the same way we should? We always figure, well, you know, like, should we base everybody off of that? If we're in a situation to help other people, should we base every interaction like that? Like, we always figure, well, that fool was just out to get me and what I have and what I can offer. Do we treat everyone else the same because there was a few bad apples that was trying to get over because of the one or few individuals that didn't appreciate it? And just tell everybody from that point on, hell no, you ain't getting shit. You know, like everybody is different. Every situation is different. It could be iffy, especially with folk you know. Reports can be ruined, altercations, fights, threats. It can open a door neither one of y'all can come back from. You know, it does happen like that. I think for me, let me tell you type of dude I am, right? I always tell folk, you know, put out the exact energy you want to circulate. The way you want to be treated is how you should do your best to treat others. That's important for me. I'm the type to give change or $1 to even a complete stranger that I never met if they ask me out in the streets, because I assume they must be down bad. That's what I assume. And I know it's people to say, you don't know what he wanted that money for. He told you that just to get it. He just got over on your fool ass, right? I seen that person ask other people for the same dollar and change, and they just plain no good, man. You know? But let me say this. I never look at it like that. For me, I'm not even just doing it because the person asked. I'm also doing it because I know myself how it is when you're down and out. And I think everybody has tasted that. You know? How you down and out and nobody lift a finger to lend a hand. I'm talking friends, family. You know, people talk about the friends and the family they got. Let me tell you something. The quickest way to get rid of friends and family, ask them for something. You know, which is something I don't really believe in myself, you know, because it's like if you're in a situation, if people are true to you, then you shouldn't even have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all, some know that feeling, and it's not that nobody has to lend a hand. I'm talking in general now. I don't expect anybody to do a damn thing. Nobody does. We know that it's not anybody's responsibility to look out for the next man or woman, right? That's a fact. That is a fact. But check this out. I look at it like it's not about what we have to do. It's never about that. When I do the small deeds that I do, that's why they call deeds, right? I believe in doing for the next anytime the opportunity presents itself, if I'm able. If I'm able, I believe in it. Not because I have to, but it makes me feel better as a man, as a human, right? Matter of fact, it makes it all the more better knowing I did something good for another human being, knowing I didn't have to do it in the first place, knowing that I chose to, right? For the same exact reason most feel justifies their telling folk no is the exact reason that makes me feel good about even doing it. I'm a grown man. You know, after all the things I've been through, hell yeah, I know folk out to get over on you at every step you take. If I go in my pocket and say, here you go, my guy, or here you are, sweetheart, don't worry about it, it's all good, glad I could help out. If it turns out that individual was lying about what they needed it for, that don't hurt me. I can't feel a way about that. It's impossible because I'm the type to do it regardless. You understand? If I'm able to lend a hand, I'll lend it. And I'm not even questioning what they needed it for. I wouldn't let them using it for something other than what they said bother me because I had my own reason for doing it. That's just the type of person I am. That's how I look at it. You know? It don't even matter to me. It's more about the person I am than the person they are. Don't let that go over your head. That was type slick too, wasn't it? Just like there's some people who say whatever to get whatever. Let's talk about the fact that besides the fact that we all have a choice to tell people no, to not do things for others. Let's also talk about some of the just stingy, selfish, just evil, judgmental mofos on this planet, right? And they only know how to look at it that one way. When they find themselves in a place where they're asked if they are able to do this favor, to lend that hand, the only thing that comes to their mind is, I don't have to. I don't have to, so why should I? That's the first thing that comes to their mind. They can't look at it no other way. They can, before you could get the words out your mouth, I don't have to. No, I ain't doing it, right? They can't help but have that mindset. I'm talking about the folk who don't believe in being helpful to any degree, right? I'm talking about the like they could be a billionaire and a homeless brother could walk up, ask for spare change to get a water before he get damn heat exhaustion out this bitch, huh? And it's just ingrained in them to do the opposite. And some will actually brag about the fact they shut the person down. Tell me you don't know somebody like that. And then go about it downplaying the person. They'll make jokes about it. Hey, yo, this bum ass fool asked me for spare change to get a water. He said he was about to pass out from heat exhaustion. The person asks them, right? And somebody will ask them about it. Well, did they look like they was really in that bad of shape? And they're like, yeah, he was kind of walking, slow. His eyes was low. He did look a little out of it, but I ain't had to get that fool nothing. Bum. Go get a job. It's not my fault you don't have money. You're a grown man. Make better life decisions. People like that. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes with the women, girl, that bitch had the nerve to ask me for a couple dollars. She said her baby daddy got locked up and the child support payments on hold. Somebody ask her, well, did you give it to her? And they'll respond, hell no, The bitch should have chose better. I told her not to mess with that jailbird ass nigga. She gonna have to wait for his punk ass to get out before she can get some Pampers. Right? Now, some respond that way and have that disposition about themselves because, yeah, they've been used before and multiple times. Maybe they once were a more generous man/woman. Then there's some who just who they are. They are who they are. And they always been like that. As long as they have the right to tell a motherfucker no, they're going to use their right. And it's not for me to judge. That's not what this is about. Everybody deals with these situations different, right? Some don't put as much on a dollar as they would character. And nobody is wrong to say no. But my thing is, for Vlad and Vick, like when Vick was explaining to him that he felt the right thing was to spread the blessing, somebody like Vlad couldn't even comprehend that shit. He seen nothing logical about Vick doing something he thought was a beautiful gesture for the ones he came up with. Everybody got their reason. Everybody got this scope they're looking through, right? Everybody got their experiences. Everybody got their reasons. They don't pay back. They used to do drugs. I worked for it. They wasn't shooting with me in the gym, right? It's mine. I just don't want to or don't have to. Boom, that's it. Case closed, huh? For the people that do, it's like, yes, I didn't have to budge for another person's need. Nah, I didn't owe it to them. I could have told them skedaddle, go get this or do that instead of fucking around with me. But they just wanted to do something good. That's it. They didn't want or even expect nothing back. Because the feeling of laying in the bed at night at the end of the day, knowing maybe my day didn't necessarily go the way I would have preferred, right? But at least I can say I contributed to making another person who was even more down on their luck than me. That thought alone is enough for a lot of people to feel good about themselves. And you can't buy that type of feeling. Only certain people understand what that's about, right? When they get praise and compliments from other people, like, oh, that was nice of you, what you did for such and such. They got their lights turned back on. You're going to be blessed for that, my man. You're going to heaven for that. That was a dope thing you did for that man. Boy, that man was getting ready to pass out in that heat. That bottle of water you bought him might have saved his life. You might have saved a life today, dog. Right? Things like that. They did something that maybe they'll be blessed for when themselves is down and out. Because you'll never know. Like, you could switch places with a person in a damn eye blink. People don't think about that type of thing. No, you can't save everybody. And no, it's not our responsibility. We all know this. But again, it's not even about those things. It's simply, I just wanted to be a good person. That's it. Nothing more. When some try to take genuine advantage, don't let that intervene or change your mind about the type of person you were or aim to be. The decision they made to attempt to use you has nothing to do with the next one that will legitimately need, that lend of hand that time. some folk we can't be good to. That's just what it is. And we for sure gonna learn that one way or another. And I'm pretty sure we all had our lessons, right? And all you can do is move accordingly. What I be saying all the damn time. Act accordingly. I say all that to say, no matter the case, it's just certain folk who got their mind made up and they probably don't even got anything but the wrong other people do or the appreciation others don't show to them. If you don't got it and it's not in you, then it's just not in you. Sometimes that's, that's how it is, man. It would have never mattered. That's just them. See, Vlad and Michael Vick come from two completely different worlds, fam. Vick came from the dirt like most and said, if I make it, damn it, we all gonna make it. I'm gonna do a good thing by helping my peoples out, help them get set up. I'm gonna assume and pray you take that opportunity and run with it, make the best out of it. Money does not mean that much to me to where I would shit on the ones I came up with and not play a part in helping their lives change too. Whether they fail at it or not, I played my part. I did exactly what I wanted and did a good thing from my heart that I can be proud about my damn self. I can't help it if they didn't appreciate my efforts or it didn't work to expectations. They try to take advantage, okay, but I know my heart was in the right place. And no matter if it's 20 or 60 mil, it didn't put a dent in my pocket to do it. So who's really losing, right? You can't purchase character. You can't. I mean, as human beings, certain people try, though. They try. Money can't buy everything now. Folk try, but even then it never goes to plan, right? Like, I know it about, it's not always about character for everybody. The next might feel it's my choice ultimately, and that's that. And, I'll never down that. Because I do get where Vlad was coming from. We can't help the ones that try to do us wrong. Hell no. But don't let the ignorant ones stop you from being a decent person, is what I'm saying. So I'm leaning more towards Vic on this. You understand? The satisfaction comes from the choice. The satisfaction comes from the choice I had to make to say yes or no. And saying yes was worth way more than money. You help somebody change their life for the better. When you turn 60 years old one day and you might need that kidney, because you never know how the way shit plays out in life, you'll be surprised. You don't have to wait on that list for that kidney. That time you extended a hand to help out a stranger or a friend, it's about to pay off. They want to return the favor by donating theirs. And you happy, you surprised, you forgot you even did them the damn favor. They're a match, and they would love nothing more than to help save the life of the one who stopped what they were doing that one fateful day just to be a small help when they needed it. You never know. You never know. Karma come back in so many ways, man. It's good and it's bad energy. And it's not to say telling people no is a bad move. Again, I got to say that. But it's just that it's going to come around one way or another. So when it come back to me, somebody like me personally, I just rather, I'd rather it be a positive turnout from the time I played a part and did something that maybe I didn't even remember. You understand? Everybody's different. To be a given person is not something that can be taught. It's learned and instilled, I feel. You understand? Same goes for people who feel, yes, I can say no, but it's my choice. Nobody's necessarily in the wrong. But y'all leave y'all comments on it, man. Because I know everybody has been face to face with these type of dilemmas, and some of these situations, they'll make you into the person you are today and change your whole mindset on dealing with people and, the line of being generous and doing for others and stuff like that. But in this case, Vic and Vlad, they was not seeing eye to eye. Two completely different people. But what's y'all thoughts on that, man? Leave your comments. Realest one. I'm out.